Let's do the next piece now. V'ata tetzave al bnei Yisrael. You see the next line, right? Madua b'chol parsha le'niska shemay shel Moshe Rabbeinu. Oh, famous words, famous question. Why in this parsha is Moshe Rabbeinu's name not mentioned? You will not find Moshe Rabbeinu's name in this parsha. You'll find reference to Moshe, but you won't find his name. Why? So b'yira yam mefarshim. Mishum sheMoshe Rabbeinu amal HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'ched ha'egel. You know, we had the ched ha'egel, right? And Moshe Rabbeinu said to Hashem Yisbarach when it came to the ched ha'egel, V'im ayin macheni na misifrecha asher kosafta. If you won't forgive the Jewish people, then I want you to erase me from your book. I don't want to be part of this book. You know that Rav Nosson Breslov has a beautiful, beautiful understanding on what happened over there. I just want to tell you outside before we continue. Okay? Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, you know, I would like to destroy the Jewish people and start the nation from you, Moshe. Forget about the Avos, forget about the Jewish people. They sin. I want to start again with you, Moshe Rabbeinu. So what did Moshe Rabbeinu do? And we learned this before, but I'm going to repeat it. Moshe Rabbeinu showed Hashem the beauty of each and every Jew. He showed how each mitzvah was special for each Jew. You know, every Jew has a mitzvah that's special to them, right? Some people, the mitzvah of tzedakah is so special, right? Some people, the mitzvah of chesed, to do a chesed is so special. Some people love Shabbos. Some people, the tefillin is so important to them. Some people, the mezuzah is so important. The Sefer Torah, right? Everybody has a mitzvah that's something special to them. Miyuchad prati to that person. Correct? Everyone agree with that? Right? Can everyone think of a mitzvah that's special for each one? Okay. So Moshe Rabbeinu showed Hashem. Look at this guy, Shimon. See how Shimon, how he keeps the Shabbos? Hashem, look, I also keep the Shabbos, you know? Right? Moshe Rabbeinu kept the Shabbos, of course. But Moshe Rabbeinu showed how Shimon, the Shabbos was so special to Shimon that it wasn't as special to Moshe as it was to Shimon. So Hashem said, if you're going to destroy Shimon and you have me, so then your Shabbos won't be as honored. It won't be as great. And the next one, the mitzvah tefillin. Moshe Rabbeinu loved this tefillin, right? But he showed how Yankel, the tefillin, he loved this tefillin much on a greater level. It was so special to him, the mitzvah of tefillin. Because it was so special to Yankel, Hashem said this, Moshe said to Hashem, so then how am I going to be able to do that? If you make the nation from me, you won't have Yankel. And he did this with every single Jew. And the Mela, that's how Moshe Rabbeinu became Anav Mikol Adam. He became the most humble person of all the people. Why? Because he proved that every single Jew is greater than he was. He showed Hashem, every Jew is greater than me. Now, if every Jew is greater than Moshe Rabbeinu, that means he's Anav Mikol Adam. He is the most humble person because he showed everyone's greater. Now, he said like this. So then, why does he say, if you don't want to forgive them, macheni na misifrecha? You know, when it comes to the Torah, so we have the klaf. Everyone had an aliyah, they saw the Torah, right? So you have different words that are written on the klaf, on the parchment, right? And you know there are blank spaces. There are blank spaces in between letters. There are blank spaces in between words. There are blank spaces on the page, right? So we know that the words themselves are words. Whatever's written in that space is a word, and you can only understand it so many different ways, the word that's there. So Moshe Rabbeinu is saying like this, if Hashem, if you don't want to forgive me within the written Torah that we have so far now, if I can't figure out a way to have you forgive the Jewish people from what's here, take me out of your sefer, take my name out, I want to be blank, I want a blank space now. And in that blank space, I go to the place of ayin, where there's nothing, and over there I could tap into anything. See, once there's a word written, the potential is already there. It's already actualized to that word. But if there's no word there, and you just have letters, so then those letters, you can write anything you want with those letters. You can do anything with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you take, like, for example, like this, if you take the game, you ever played a game of Scrabble?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so when you have, Scrabble, so you have all those letters just sitting in the box. They're there, right? So you can write any kind of word you want with those letters, right? Mm-hmm. But once you wrote a word, now you wrote a word with those letters. Right. Now you wrote that word's there. Mm-hmm. But if that word wasn't written yet, you can write a different word. Mm-hmm. So Hashem is, Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, take me out of your book. Take those letters out, my letters out, leave a blank space so I can put anything I want in there. So that way I can effect the forgiveness. And it worked, because what did Hashem do? Hashem gave us the Yud Gimel Midas Harachamim. Moshe Rabbeinu said, Im ayin macheni na misifrecha. So Hashem said, you know something, Hashem, Moshe Rabbeinu, if you're going to be Moshe Nefesh, that you want to give yourself up for the Jewish people, I'll forgive the Jewish people. And then he gave Hashem, Kel Rachem, Mechanan, Erech, Apayim, Ches, Neitz, Ches, Love, Neitz, Amefesh, Vechate, Menake.
Moses said, take out the word, take out my name, and those words.
Take out the, leave a blank spaces now. And then we can fill in anything we want.
When it comes to Moses, take that out.
He said, take my name out.
Yeah.
But now let's see. Okay, that's one. And now let's see a beautiful understanding here. Now, v'im einecha muchan limchol la'am Yisrael. If you're not willing to forgive the Jewish people, timchaik oisi mi sefer. Next page, Torah. Take me out of your Torah. V'hinei klola shel Talmid Chacham. If a Talmid Chacham makes a statement that's not good, he makes a klola. So afilu al chinam miskayemes. So if a Talmid Chacham says something, no matter he meant it, he didn't mean it, he wanted it to be, he didn't want it to be, it comes true. When a Talmid Chacham says something, it's going to happen.
It's like a curse.
Yeah. Va'afilu k'sha'akadosh baruch hu machal le'am Yisrael. Even when Hashem forgives the Jewish people, but his name was already erased. And his name is not written in Parshas Tetzaveh. But we're going to see it really is. Now watch this. Now, Ben Ishchai, the holy Ben Ishchai. אתה שמעת מהבן Ishchai?
הספרדי הזה.
מתוק ממש. Okay. בפרשת תצווה, היא הפרשה מספר חוף. מספר חוף. You know, this is the 20th parsha. It's the 20th parsha from Bereshis. Okay, this is the 20th parsha in the Torah. 20. Metchilas HaTorah. And since over here Moshe Rabbeinu says, erase me from the book, mi sefer, from which book? From the 20th, mi sefer Chof. Mi sefer Chof, the 20th. In other words, we're learning now that each parsha is really a sefer by itself. Each parsha is really its own little book. It's his own pamphlet. Each parsha in the Chumash is one book by itself. So this was the 20th book. This is the 20th book. Chof. Nimcha Shemaimi Parsha Chof. So Hashem erased his name from this parsha. Shehi Tetzaveh, which happens to be Parsha Tetzaveh. Shekain Kol Parsha Hi Ka'ayin Sefer Katan. So here we see that each sefer, each parsha in the Chumash is really like its own book. It's an interesting concept.
His name is not mentioned in Bereshis, though.
No.
Since he was born.
Since he was born,
yeah.
since
And every parsha except for this.
except for this parsha. From the time
is the 20th parsha from
Bereshis.
Bereshis.
Yes, if you count from Bereshis, you count. Yeah, Ketzav is the 20th.
Yeah, but Moses' name is not mentioned in all Bereshis, though.
He wasn't born yet.
I wasn't born yet. But
So, how could you mention it?
No. Here we're supposed to get from this is that each sefer, each parsha is considered on its own to be its own little sefer. It's amazing. Each parsha, and this is the 20th one, and in the 20th one, his name wasn't written. Now let's see now. Vagoin, Rav Eliyahu Vilna, the holy Vilna Gaon. Everyone heard of Vilna Gaon?
Yes.
Okay, Hevi, Shal Pi Roiv, that most of the time, Zayin Ba'ada Neifel B'Shvua Shel Parshas Tetzaveh. Most years, it'll happen that Parshas Tetzaveh, Zayin Ba'ada, Zayin Ba'ada is Moshe Rabbeinu's yard side, right? It was this week. Everyone heard about that? Right? It was on Tuesday, right?
Right. Yeah. Zayin Ba'ado.
Yeah. That's the yard side of Moshe Rabbeinu. Umekivin sheyayim Zayin Ba'adar Yayim Ezeu Yayim Petira Shel Moshe Rabbeinu. Since that's the day that Moshe Rabbeinu left the world, VaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzayfer Kol HaDayros. And the Kadosh Baruch Hu looked at the generations. He knew that Moshe Rabbeinu would leave during this week. In other words, why did Hashem pick this week to happen? Because he knew that Moshe Rabbeinu would be taken from the world on the 20th, within the 20th parsha, Zayin Ba'adar falls out that every week is Parshas Tetzaveh. Every year, almost every year is Parshas Tetzaveh. So the 20th parsha comes out with Zayin Adar, right? And every year we would read the Torah. This and Zayin Ba'adar would be during this week of the seven, right? Therefore, his name wasn't written in the parsha because it's not right to write his name. He left the world in this parsha, so why are you going to mention his name in the week that he left the world? So Hashem purposely picked this week to put his name in there. But we go on to say something else.
To leave his name out.
Leave his name out, yes. Mikol Makaim Amra Gain. But the Gain goes on to say, now listen, this is amazing what the Gain says. Sheyesh remez l'shmei shel Moshe Rabbeinu b'parsha. There is still a remez to Moshe Rabbeinu's name in the parsha. It's a hint. There's a hint to Moshe Rabbeinu's name in the parsha. His name may not be written in the parsha out specifically, but there's a hint. Now listen to this.
So Hashem is going to erase his name anyway.
Yeah, but his name it's erased.
Even before Moses made that request, Hashem decided to.
Well, okay, it worked out. Yes. Vayidei mispar psukim shel parsha shehei meya v'achas. If you count up the psukim in this week's parsha, and it's a little safer, the 20th parsha, you'll see there's 101 psukim. There's 101 specifically, 101 psukim. Now, we're going to learn a new system now. There's a new system, okay? The Vilna Gaon's teaching us a system. Now, if you take a look over here, it says kach, right? Mem. You see the mem? If you want to spell the letter mem, how do you write mem? Mem. So it says the Vilna Gaon, mem hanislo. So what's the hidden part of it? 40. Right? 40 is the hidden part. Now the shin, how do you spell shin? Shin yud nun. Shin yud nun. Right? So shin and hanista. So what's hidden in the shin? The yud and the nun. How much is the shin, the yud and the nun? 60. Right? And the hey, how do you write a hey for Moshe? Hey aleph. Hey aleph. Aleph. So the aleph is nister. So what do you have here? Sachakol 101. So if you add up 40, 60, how much is 40 and 60? And then 101. And that's how many psukim are in the parsha. So here you have it. Moshe Rabbeinu's name is beremez in the parsha by the number of psukim that are in the parsha, says the Vilna Gaon. Is that not amazing? Mm-hmm. That's awesome. It's amazing and awesome. Lahayroi she'afal pi shanigla shel Moshe Rabbeinu. Even though the revealed, we had that word again today. You see that? That the revealed name of Moshe Rabbeinu is not there. Gufay nista meitanu. It's really hidden from us. It's hidden from us. Mikol makom anista shabai. But from the hiddenness that's hidden, his name is hidden in the parsha. Haruchni is gila lano. The Ruchni teaches us that what? Hainu haTorah Kedoshah hi chayenu. The Torah is our life. It's our life source. V'oirich yameinu. It's the length of our days. Uva nahaga yoimam v'layla. And we have to be nahag. We have to work on the Torah every single day because look how beautiful it is. You think, says the Vilna Gaon, you think that Hashem's name is not in the parsha. You think His name is not in this parsha, but I'm going to show you His name is in the parsha because the 101. If you take the letters that are missing from Moshe Rabbeinu's name, or the mem, and what's the hidden letter is a mem, which is 40, and then the shin, which is a yud and a nun, which is 60, and then of the hey is an aleph is 101. So really Hashem's name, Moshe Rabbeinu's name is written in the parsha B'Nistar. So you have to study the Torah in all different ways to find the beauty within it, says the Vilna Gaon. Let's look at the next one. The next one is so beautiful also. V'yikro elecha shemen zayis zach kosis lamor. Right? The pasuk says, right? The pasuk goes on to say, when you take v'yikro elecha shemen zayis, take olive oil, right? Olive oil, shemen zayis. Zach, it has to be pure. Zach means pure, what Dr. Samai? Pure. Kosis has to be crushed, lamor. Why kosis? Look at this. Hamenayra hatahira shimsha bebeis hamikdash harishon taf yud shanim. The first Beis Hamikdash, Shlomo Melech's Beis Hamikdash, lasted for 410 years. Right? Right? Bayis Rishon was 410 years. Ubayis Sheni, Taf Chaf Shanim was 420 years. 420 years. Now, Remez Lekach Hevi Balaturim. The Balaturim brings down, listen to this is amazing. Vayikro elecha shemen zayizach kosis. Why does the Torah put the word in there, kosis? Why did it need that? It has to be crushed? Why did it have to be crushed? Why kosis? Kosis is the letters Kaf, Taf, Yud, Taf. Kaf, Taf, Yud, Taf. Bishvil Shnei Abotei Mikdashos, Kaf, Taf, which is the second one, which is a 420 shanim. The Taf Yud shanim is 410. So in the word kasis, you have the remes to the two Batei Mikdashos, Bayis Rishon, Bayis Sheni. Bayis Rishon lasted for 410 years. Bayis Sheni lasted for 420 years. And how beautiful that is to get a little remes out of that word kasis. Is that amazing?
The only thing is, the cost it should have been reversed than the cost because the cost is 420, but it would have been 410.
Hey, heard.
But all right.
In English, you're right.
But all right, okay.
Ernie, come on. Nice try. Yeah, let's go. Let's see another way. These are nice so far.
They're nice.
Nice, short, nice, easy to understand. Okay. Let's look at one more. Okay. B'Roiv Shonim Parshas Tetzaveh. We're learning a lot about Parshas Tetzaveh. It's nice, right? Yeah. Chal b'Shabbos shelifnei Purim. Most years, this would be the Shabbos before Purim, right? Right, would be the Shabbos before Purim. Most years. Now, why is that there will be the Shabbos before Purim? Why? Umevarchen Gimel Brachos Be'es Mikra Megillah. When we read the Megillah, we make 3 brachas. Remember the 3 brachas? He's going to tell you right now. You make the bracha Shechiyanu, right? Mikra Megillah, right? And the 3rd bracha is for Shas Nisim. Now look at the next page. Turn the page and see wonders. I guarantee you. V'nira besides that zeh remez b'ksav v'yikro elecha shemen. So now we learned about the kosis, right? The 420 and the 410. Now shemen. The word shemen. What shemen? Roshei Tevis, which is the acronym for Shechiyanu. The shin is for Shechiyanu. You like that already? Good?
Yeah.
Shechiyanu. And the mem is for Mikra Megillah. And the nun is for Sha'asa Nisim. Sha'asa Nisim. So here you have the remez in the word shemen to the 3 brachas that you make on Purim. Beautiful?
In the right order.
Mama's beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
Mama's yafeh. Mama's good. Okay, ve'ein milsa delay rimza b'araisa. There's nothing that any word you're going to look at. We're learning here. Any word you look at in the Torah, you could look at the word and see the beauty in each and every single word of the Torah, the different ramazim. Who would know that? You can look at the word shemen and you have in there shechiyanu, you have mikra megillah, you have shasa nisim. You look at the word kases, it's talking about the bayis rishon, the bayis sheni. Fascinating, right? Okay, now let's go weiter to the next one, okay? The in all of the Torah, you don't see anywhere mentioned the atat tetzaveh, and you go and command the atat tetzaveh and command tetzaveh. Why is it tetzaveh? Why does this parsha start off with the tzaveh? In other words, we're going to try to understand why is this a tzivui, why is this a command? We learned about before, right? But we can see a different idea now. It's mashman that's talking about Moshe Rabbeinu. Really, it should have said, take from me, Shemen Zayazach She'amar, v'yichuli Truma. In other words, like when it said by Truma last week's parsha, v'yichuli Truma, Meis Hashay Advenu Libai, right? Take from me Truma. So why is this parsha saying, Vata Tetzaveh? Why is this Tetzaveh? It's not v'yichlu Elecha. Why is it not v'yichlu? And why is it v'yichul li truma, v'yichul li shemen zayis? Why is it the atat tetzaveh? You understand the question? Why is it a command? So bia b'sefer yalkad oyrim. He says b'derech drush al pi ma di'isa b'medrash shir hashirim. We'll learn a little bit medrash shir hashirim for a minute, okay? In Rabbah, kivan shamar kadosh baruch hu anoichi. You know when we said that by Yaseres Adibras, Hashem said anoichi. Right, we said that. Remember, we said what the Rosh Tevis was that Nike was Anon Nafshi Kisavis Yahavis. Remember, we learned that last week. Anon Nafshi Kisavis Yahavis. Right in the Anoichi, that Hashem says, "I'm found in all the words of the Torah." Right? V'layiyelecha ne'ekar yetzahara miliban v'hayu loimdim v'laysheichim es talmudam. So says the Sahih. It said we're learning over here in Shira Rabbah, the Medrash Rabbah, that says what? That when Hashem said Anoichi, He took the Yetzer Hara out of us that was going to help, that was going to make us forget our learning. You ever wonder why sometimes you learn something and you forget? It happens. So we're going to learn about that. How do we remember? We're going to learn now. How do we remember what we learned, and how can we recall it? So here we go. And since we said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Daber ata imanu. Remember what happened when Hashem said Anoichi? We all passed away. Remember, and the Neshamas left us. Remember that? And then we said to Moshe Rabbeinu, the remaining Aseres, the Divas Hashem, say it, tell it to Moshe, and Moshe, you tell it to us. Moshe, you tell it to us. We can't hear it from Hashem. It's too powerful to hear it from Hashem. You remember that, Ernie? You don't remember that?
I wasn't here that week.
No. In general, the first two.
The first two were
Hashem said, and the rest of them Moshe Rabbeinu said. Right. So if Hashem would have continued saying all of them, so then we would never have forgot our learning. But because we said to Hashem, please let Moshe tell it to us. Because of that, look what happened here. Because lest we'll die. In other words, if you keep telling us we're going to die, said the Jewish people told Moshe Rabbeinu, Chaza Yetzer Hara Aleim, the Yetzer Hara came back to us. When we weren't trusting in Hashem, that we would be okay. Hashem wants to give us the Aseres Adibras. Hashem is saying the words to us. We're saying we're going to die. What? Hashem He takes on the Neshamas. He gives us on the Neshamas every day. So what were we saying to Hashem? Hashem, no, we want Moshe to tell it to us. We're scared of you, Hashem. So we were giving up the Ratzon Hashem. We were learning before in the Shir, what were we learning? That we have to align our Ratzon to the Ratzon Hashem. So why should I be fearful that Hashem, I'm going to die when Hashem is talking to me? If Hashem wants me to listen to Him, if Hashem wants me to live, I'll live. If Hashem wants me to die, I'll die. What's the difference? It's not up to me, it's up to Hashem. You understand what happened here? So since we gave away, since we said to Hashem, you know what, no, we don't, we would rather not hear from you, Hashem. We're scared of you, Hashem. Rather tell it to Moshe. Moshe will tell it to us. So then the Yetzer Hara came back to us.
Well, they were afraid to hear the voice of Hashem. Was that it?
We were afraid that if we would hear the voice of Hashem, we would leave. We would die. Because we did. We died and we came back again.
So we
died when Hashem said Anochi. We all perished. But then we came back, and the Neshamas came back to us.
For the second mitzvah?
For the second one. And then it died, it came away. But then we said, oh.
It died again.
Then we were scared that 3 strikes, you're out.
I see.
You understand? We were scared 3 strikes, you're out. We thought the third one, we died, that would be it. Right?
Right.
Yeah, they thought they invented baseball now. We already had it over there, right?
Yeah.
Right? 1 strike, 2 strikes. So 3 strikes, you're out, right? Now, the Chaza Yetzer Hara Aleim v'ayu loimdim v'sheichim. So now we learn Torah and we forget. And everyone it happens to us. Right? You learn something, you go, wow, I learned that. Wow, I forgot I learned that. Right? Sheichim, we forget. Nimsa, so we find shebeglal sheMoshe amar la'am Yisrael es aseres adibros, because Moshe Rabbeinu said to Klal Yisrael the aseres adibros, higia aleim shechicha. So therefore, since we weren't trusting in Hashem, and we said, no, Moshe, you tell it to us. So since we weren't trusting, therefore, this shichacha, the forgetfulness, came back to us. It came to us. V'amru Chazal, and Chazal tell us that what? In Harius, Shemen Zayis, listen to this, Yofa l'shichacha. Shemen Zayis is good to help us, to benefit us when to help us remember. To help us to give us memory. Olive oil is good for memory. Do you ever hear that? No, your pharmacist they didn't tell you that, right? For memory, they tell you take all different things, right? But the Gemara says eat olive oil. Eat olive oil. A Talmud al shivim shana. A Talmud can remember his learning from 70 years ago. Eat olive oil. How you like that? Eat olive oil and remember all the learning. How do you like that, Dr. Smite? Nice? Huh?
Yeah.
Now, so how does this fit in with the parsha? Now we're going to understand how it fits in with the parsha. Now, Moshe Rabbeinu, you command v'ata titzaveh. Now that we know this, es b'nei Yisrael. Im ata tia mitzuvah. If you will be the one that commands. If you, Moshe Rabbeinu, will be the one that commands Shel B'nei Yisrael, Ba'aseres Adibros, that you're the one telling over the Aseres Adibros because they want you to tell over the Aseres Adibros, and they don't want me to tell it over. They want you to tell it over, since you're going to be the one telling it over. Machmas kach yigram shichcha. Because of that, that's why they started to forget. Because I didn't tell them the Aseres Adibros. If Hashem would have told us the Aseres Adibros, there's no way we would ever forget that. But when Moshe Rabbeinu told us, it's like when the Rebbe is giving the shir, you fall asleep. We forgot it.
So Moses should take the olive oil so that they wouldn't forget.
What?
So Moses should take the olive oil.
You're right. Azai, v'yikhu elecha. Now take it for yourself. Shemen zayizach v'yikhu v'shvilcha, for yourself. Sha'ata tzavta shemen zayizach k'dei lahachzir talmidam, in order for them to remember their learning. So what's the best way for us to remember our learning? Eat olive oil. No more cottonseed oil. No more vegetable oil. No more all those other oils. Eat olive oil. That's it.
But Moshe was taking the olive oil for them, right?
Yes,
so he should give it to them so that they would be.
We should learn this. We should learn to remember our learning. But it goes on to further. Hold on.
We're not Moshe to take the olive oil.
Yeah, that's why it's a lecha. That's why it's a lecha. Over there, Kitzas Shoina. Here we go. Be a Sifrei Likutei Chazal. Al pi divrei HaGemara be'erevin. Ilmole lei nishbaru luchais harishoinais lei nishkecha Torah mi Yisrael. So the Gemara goes on to say in Erevin, right? That another idea now. If the first luchas, that who gave us the first luchas, they were written by Hashem, right? So if the first luchas were not broken, we would not forget our Torah either. So in other words, first what happened was Hashem gave us the Aseret Dibros. We said to Hashem, no, you don't tell us the Aseret Dibros, we want Moshe Rabbeinu. So the forgetting came back to us. Says the Gemara in Eruvin, when Moshe Rabbeinu went to Shemayim for the 40 days, and the 40 nights, when he came back with those luchas rishonos, the first ones that Hashem made, because now the Aseret Dibros are written on the luchas, right? That Hashem made. So then our learning came back to us. It came back to us. But what happened? Who broke the luchas?
Hashem.
No, Moshe. Oh, Nimsa. Shenishtabra luchas v'oisos parchu ba'avir. Oh, what happened was when the luchas broke, what happened to the letters? They floated up into the air. In other words, the letters were written on the stone, on the sapphire. I think it was made out of sapphire, right? So the sapphire broke. The letters went up to Shemayim. They went up. The same way when the Sefer Torah was burning, they said, what do you see? I see the letters that are parchas ba'avir Shemayim, right? Remember, right? Right, so the letters went up.
Moshe Rabbeinu broke the tablets because they Hazar.
He let go of them, right.
Was
Higia la'am Yisrael.
Was he right to do?
Wait. Higia la'am Yisrael shichas. So it came to Klal Yisrael this idea of forgetting, because again, if Hashem taught us the first luchas, then we would never. If Hashem said the Aseret Dibros to us, we would never forget them. And then the second chance we had was that if Hashem gave us the luchas, we still would never forget. But we blew the second chance also. Believe in that Torah. And what's the way to prevent forgetting? Al Yadei Shemen Zayis, through Shemen Zayis. You need olive oil to help you for forgetting. V'zeh Shamar HaKosav, v'ata tetzaveh Bnei Yisrael, v'ata shegamarta al Yadei Shviras HaLuchas, because you, Moshe Rabbeinu, broke the luchas. And since Moshe Rabbeinu, you're the one that broke the luchas, l'shikcha b'Am Yisrael, now you caused again shikcha b'Am Yisrael. They're blaming everything on poor Moshe Rabbeinu. On poor Moshe Rabbeinu.
Did Moshe Rabbeinu do something wrong by breaking the luchas?
No. Hashem actually gave me Yeshua Koyach for doing that.
Right.
No, but okay.
So
But they still were broken.
Yeah.
But they were still broken. So now you, Moshe Rabbeinu, now since you broke the luchas, and since you told them the Aseret Dibros, since you did those things, and now you tell them about this idea tetzaveh. So they shouldn't have strike 3. You tell them about this tetzaveh. Laseish tikan shalai yishkechu v'yikvei lecha shemen zayizot kosas lamar. Next page. Lahalais ner tamid, to have the light coming up all the time. V'yikvei lecha lama. Because you caused them to forget by dropping the luchos. Shemen Zayis kadei sheyizkor es haTorah tamid. So therefore they would have this Shemen Zayis to remember the Torah all the time, because that would give us the remembrance, right? So now we know that the Torah says that the Chazal teach us that if you eat olives themselves, just plain olives, that's kosher l'shikcha. That'll cause you to forget your learning. It's very interesting, right? It's very interesting.
But you have to have
Eating olives, just plain olives, will cause you to forget your learning. That's what the Chazal say. Chazal says that kosher l'shikcha. But if you have olive oil, when you worked on the olive, you crushed it up, you worked on the oil, so then the oil is good for to help us to remember. That's how it is with a yid. In other words, we have to work on ourselves. We have to work on ourselves, and then we become the people we're supposed to become. We're not just going to become the people we're supposed to be. You understand? We have to work on it. We have to keep working, and then we become the Kosas Lama'ar. Okay, now, you want to do some more?
Right, yeah, we got time. Sure.
We have time. Let's go weiter. Okay. So you have the next one, V'yikvei lecha shemen zayis? Yeah, you have the next one? Okay, here we go. Lahales ner tamid, to always have the candle burning. And you hold it till it burns on its own. You know, we learned that when it came to the mitzvah of Ner Chanukah, right? So some people don't realize when you light the candle, you hold the candle in the place long enough that you actually the one that caused it to light. Some people just put it on there and they just rush right along, but it didn't actually light because you did it. You have to hold it there until it actually burns. You know the wick is long, right? The wick is long. So you're supposed to light it until it's burned. The wick is burning because of the oil or because of the candle, the wick, the wax, whatever you're lighting with. Not because of the wick itself. Some people don't know that. You understand? One more time. When you light the candles, right? So you're lighting the candle, but are you lighting the candle or you're lighting the wick?
You're lighting the wick.
No. Right. So we're learning now, but you light the wick. So when Aharon HaKohen lit the candle, when he was lighting it, he had to hold the flame on the wick until it burned down, until the wick went down, that it was now being supported by the oil, not by the flame or the wick itself. Do you understand the difference? The wick is long, right? The wick is long. So you light the tip of the wick. So now it burns for a short while, on the wick itself burns. And it goes down and it consumes the wick. And then once it consumes it, it gets shorter, and then it starts taking from the supply of the oil or the wax. Correct? Makes sense? So what we're learning is the kohen had to stand there, and we stand and light our menorah the same way. We hold it until it's being supported by its own.
Until the wick goes down.
Till the wick goes down and it's being lit on it, but it's being lit by the fuel, not by the wick itself. Make sense? Okay, good. Okay. B'tzorach beer haloi b'Rashi ala pasik b'alois chasaneiros el mul pnei hamenorah yi'iru shiva saneiros. So he's bringing down the pasik in Rashi, the Rashi in parshas b'alois chem b'midbar. It's the same idea because now we're talking about the oil. Beer beis pirushim al loshen aliyah. He has two different pirushim what it means to go up. Aliyah. What does it mean to go up? The candle, the light should go up. And what's the other parish on the Haloischa al shem shalev oila, that the shalheva, the flame should go up. Sibad lakasan lasais aliyah. When you light it, it should go up on it. Okay, now litzarich lahadlik ad shetehei shalheves oila me'aleh, until the candle is burning on its own, like I explained to you just before, me'aleh, on its own. It can't be burning because of the candle, the wick itself, the fiber of the wick, but rather from the fuel of whatever the flame is. The Oida Shurabei Seinu, and the Chazal also taught, Mikan Shelamala Oisa Lifnei HaMenorah. There were steps. There were steps in front of the menorah. The menorah was tall, and there were steps for the kohen to go up. The kohen would stand there good, and he would be able to light it nicely. He would stand on a step, comfortably standing there, and then he would be able to light it mutav in a nice way. But why over here in this parsha? In this parsha, Rashi loy bir lahales ner tamid gam es a perish hasheni shalamala oisa lifnei hamenorah, that there are steps. Why only in parshas balaischa? When it talks about the menorah, over there Rashi says there's two things to understand. One is that it has to light the candle, like we explained. The candle has to light, the wick has to be lit by the fuel itself. And there was an aliyah, there were steps, there was malot, madregot in front of the menorah. But why over here we don't have that? This is so beautiful. Watch this. Now, Ubir Rab Naftali Hertz Mislotsk. Look what the Rebbi says over here. Zeichet Tzadik Levracha. Sha'apasik shebeparsha seinu nema rak leMoshe Rabbeinu. So we're talking about it the whole time we're learning now, right? In this parsha, who are we talking about? Hashem's talking to Moshe Rabbeinu. It's Moshe Rabbeinu. V'yikro elecha shemen zayizach sheMoshe shimesh kol shivas yemei hamiluyim. Right? The 7 days before Rosh Chodesh Nisan, right? Those are the Zayim yemei hamiluyim. Are we ever familiar with that? Moshe Rabbeinu, each day of those 7 days would set up the Mishkan, take it down. Set it up, take it down, set it up, take it down. For 7 days. He would practice. Moshe Rabbeinu was practicing before he did it. V'isa b'Masechta Shabbos. Oh, in Masechta Shabbos they write like this. Shekaimasai shel Moshe Rabbeinu oisa yud amos. Moshe Rabbeinu stood 10 amos tall. Now, how tall is an amma? What's an amma? An amma we know is 2 feet. An amma is it's either 2.5 feet or 2 feet. But the common thing in amma is 2 feet. So 2 feet. So if Moshe Rabbeinu was 10 ammas, how tall was he?
20 feet.
He was 20 feet. Moshe Rabbeinu was 20 feet. There's a cute joke that the Satmar say. I'll tell you a cute joke. The Satmar say they have a reference that Moshe Rabbeinu must have been a Satmar Chassid. They say, I'll tell you, and you know what they say like this, all the Chassidim wear a tall hat, right? But the Satmar wear those very short hats. The hat sits right on the head. You know what I'm talking about? The crown of the hat is very, very short. You saw those guys with the very short hats? Right? It can be wide, but it's very short. All the other hats are taller. The crown's higher. Because they say if Moshe Rabbeinu was 20 amas, was 10 amas tall, and the Mishkan we know was 10 amas tall. So if Moshe Rabbeinu was wearing a different kind of hat, he would be pushing up the curtain. So he was wearing his hat. He was wearing a satna, so it was flat. So that's how it was just a cute joke. Forget it.
But did Moshe Rabbeinu put it up and what did he do on Shabbos, the Moshe Rabbeinu? Did he put it up and put it down on Shabbos? No.
I don't know. Why? Well, there was no shvus when it came to the mitzvah. I don't know. Okay. I don't want to say. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. That we know Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that was working in the Mishkan the 7 days. These 7 days, only Moshe Rabbeinu was working there. There were no Kahanim working there. V'isa b'mesechta Shabbos shekaimatza shel Moshe Rabbeinu Isa Yud Amos, he was 10 amas tall. Nimtza shemayше loyaya tzarich hagva kidei lahadlik es haneiros. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't need the steps. He didn't need any steps. He was 20 feet tall. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't need any steps. Shekain haya gavaya b'harbe min ha-menorah, because he was much taller than the menorah. He was taller than the menorah. Shah-menorah ha'isa gimel amas. The menorah was only 6 feet tall. Now let me ask you something. If the menorah was 6 feet tall and you wanted to light, if I wanted to light it at 6 feet tall, I have to stand on something to light it. You can't light it if it's 6 feet tall. You'll have a devil of a time to get to try to light it, right? But if you have steps, it's easy. But in this parsha, the parsha Rashi rak in this parsha here in parsha Tetzaveh. So we want to know why is it. The question was like this: why, when it came to parshas Baloischas Haneiros, when it talks about the menorah, didn't Rashi give 2 explanations what it means to go up? One explanation is the way you light the candle and the steps. Was the second one. But in this parsha, the Tzavi only gives the one that the candle, it has to be lit by itself. You have to make sure it lights. Why was that? Until it burns by itself, like we explained, right? See, on this parsha, it was talking only to Moshe Rabbeinu, but when it came to Baal Loischa, it was talking to all the Kahanim. The Kahanim.
And they were less than 6 feet
tall. For all the different generations. And their bodies, they weren't so tall. The regular Kahanim weren't so tall like Moshe Rabbeinu. They needed steps. They needed the steps.
And Moshe Rabbeinu
didn't. So Perish Rashi Sham over the there. Other people also darshan out. The Rabbanan darshan out, there were steps in front of it. But here we didn't have to talk about the steps because Moshe Rabbeinu stood 20 amas and the menorah was only 6 amas. So it was no problem to light. He didn't need any steps.
He had to bend down
to light. It was a very easy thing. Almost so similar to when we light our menorah. Right? When you light your menorah on the table, it was the same idea with Moshe Rabbeinu. Let's do one more. Let's go to the last page, please. We have a couple more minutes, so we'll do one more short piece. Please to the last page. And this one will help us out. This one will help us out going forward, okay? The last page. Achas b'shana yechaper olav l'darei seichem. That's the end of the parsha. Okay? Here we go. Kishahoya beis hamikdash kayim when we had the Beis Hamikdash standing. We had the first Beis Hamikdash was 410 years. The second was 420 years. Hayu karbanos Yom Kippur mechaprim al bnei Yisrael. So we know that when we had the Beis Hamikdash, the karbonis that we brought in Yom Kippur would bring atonement to the Jewish people. V'gam b'chol shana lo yaya adam lon b'Yerushalayim v'aveira b'yadai. All the Jews that lived in the city of Yerushalayim never lived with an aveira. Why did they not live with an aveira? They had no aveiras. Why? Tamid shel shachar, the tamid that they brought in the morning, haya mechaper al kol aveira shel halayla. If the Jewish people in Yerushalayim made any mistakes, did anything wrong on Aveira at night, so came the morning and the carbon would bring the carbon atomid, that would bring them, give them atonement for anything they did the night before. V'tamid shel bein arbayim, and then the tamid that was brought in the afternoon, right? There were two of them brought, right? There was one brought in the morning and one brought in the afternoon. Haya mechaper al Aveira shel hayom. So here we have it. The carbon atomid in the morning forgave all the averis that the people did at night, and then the carbon that we brought, that the Chaim brought in the afternoon, forgave for the averis that he did during the day.
Which is only in Yerushalayim?
That's what it says. Yeah. That's why he's supposed to live in Yerushalayim. There we go. Okay. But they say no Arabim. But because of our many sins, Shechara Beis Hamikdash, and therefore the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed. And we don't have karbanos today that will atone for our doings. So what do we do? Amr Chazal. So the holy rabbis taught us in Menachos, Kala Isaac B'Torah Kilo Hikriv Oila. Whoever will Isaac in the parsha of Oila. In other words, if you want to bring let's say today, you want to bring a carbon oila. How do you bring a carbon oila? You say in the siddur, you say the parsha of the carbon oila in the karbonos, right? In the morning you have the carbon oila, right? So you say that parsha, and mincha, the carbon of mincha, and a chatas, it's in there also. You know that? In Ezu Mekayman. You know where it says by Ezu Mekayman? In the morning. Yeah. No, in the morning. Carbon mincha. It talks about a carbon mincha there too.
We don't say that though, do we? We don't say that mincha, the carbon.
Well, I do.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nusach Sfar does.
I see, okay.
No, but I want to tell you something. Even in Nusach Ashkenaz, they don't say it by the bima, but you're allowed to say the karbanos in the afternoon. Okay. You can come to shul 5 minutes earlier and say the karbanos.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Because listen, Ernie, you say the karbanos and it's like you brought the carbon.
All right. Okay.
Is that not so beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
You say the words and you get credit for bringing the carbon. Is that not amazing?
Well, has it for Shachris, but not for Mincha.
But you could say, no, but it tells you there, if you want to say it for Mincha, it tells you what to say in the Shachris part.
Okay, all right.
And if you want, I'll buy you a Nusach Sfarad Siddur that you can have it so you'll be able to say the karbanos in the afternoon. Okay. I'll write it there specifically for you. Okay, Chatas v'Asham, and it talks about the carbon Chatas, it talks about the Asham, Shenemar, Zaisa Torah l'Oila l'Mincha, l'Chatas l'Shlamim, l'Asham, all the karbanos. Laima l'Cha, shekala Isik b'Torah, whoever's going to study Torah, again, to know the Ratzon Hashem. This is the Ratzon Hashem. We learned before to align my Ritzinus to the Ratzon Hashem. If you read it, you study the parshas, you don't need the karbanos if you say them because it's considered you brought them. Okay. Umiseifer tzel aida hevi lekach remez shakasav ata b'shana yichaper olav seifei teves Torah. How do you like that? Achas b'shana yichaper olav. You see the pasuk? Achas b'shana yichaper olav. See the pasuk that we're quoting on the top? Mm-hmm. So achas b'shana, the last letter in achas is a tav. Right? Then the last letter in Bashana is a Hey, the Reish, right? And the Vav. How you spell Torah? Tav, Vav, Reish, Hey. Right? It's the word Torah. Seifei Tevis, Torah. L'ramish b'Seif HaDoros. To teach us that in the end of time, in our generation, b'Seif HaDoros, Sheyichra Beis HaMikdash, the Beis HaMikdash will stay in its ruins. And that stupid building stands on Har HaBayis. Limud HaTorah yiyu mechaper k'maya karbanos b'yom HaKippurim. By us studying the Torah, by us reading it, by us reading the parsha of the karbanos, as if we're bringing the karbanos. V'amar HaKosav l'dayrei seichem. Why is it l'dayrei seichem? This is for each and every generation. So let us all take to heart and just to say it in the morning, spend an extra 5 minutes, an extra 10 minutes, say the words, they're beautiful, read the translation, understand and have in mind that I'm bringing these karbanos. Ernie, can I ask you a question? How much would it cost you every time to bring a carbon? You'd have to make big withdrawals from your account to buy this animal and that animal and this animal, that animal. But now you can go to shul for 5 minutes and say the words, and it's as good as you brought the karbanos. And with all of that, have a beautiful Lech Shabbos.